Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Myself, I am currently pursuing my first year BE in Venkateswara College of Engineering in the branch of Cyber Security. Today, I am going to explain you about the hazardous waste management. Hazardous waste is any discarded material that could be poses a threat to human health or the environment. Proper management is crucial to protect people and the planet. This presentation will explore the key principles and best practices of hazardous waste management. Defining hazardous waste. Firstly, let us know about what is hazardous waste. Hazardous waste is categorized into integrity, corrosivity, reactivity, or toxicity. Hazardous characteristics. Hazardous waste exhibit one or more of the following characteristics such as inactivity, corrosivity, reactivity, or toxicity. And the second one is chemical composition. Hazardous waste can contain dangerous chemicals and heavy metals or the other substances that pose a threat to the environment and the human health. The regulatory definition of hazardous waste is hazardous waste is legal defined by federal and state regulations with outline specific waste types, testing protocols, and disposal requirements. Hazardous waste regulations and compliance. This is classified into three to four types. First one is regulatory framework. Hazardous waste in the US is regulated under the Recourse Conservation and Recovery Act, that is shortly called as RCRA. This federal law establishes a comprehensive framework for managing hazardous materials from generation to disposal. In the US country, this is also made as an act where the managing of hazardous waste and generation from generation to disposal is taken place very in a manner way. The next is compliance obligations. Business that generate, transport, treat, store, or dispose hazardous waste must comply with RCRA regulations. This includes proper identification, labeling, packaging, manufacturing, and record keeping requirements. These are all the process where the hazardous waste is generated or disposed in a proper way, such as identification of hazardous waste, labeling, packaging of hazardous waste in a proper manner without spill out or any damage to the humans, manifesting and record keeping the records of the hazard waste generated each yearly or a monthly once. Enforcement and penalties. What are the penalties faced by RCRA? Failure to comply with RCRA can result significant civil and criminal penalties. The EPA and state environment agencies actively inspect facilities and enforce hazardous waste laws to protect human health and environment. The penalties are the fines that follow when you do not follow the proper rules regulated by RCRA, and the Enforcement Act will be taken seriously. Staying up to the date. Regulations are continually evolving, so organizations must monitor changes and update to ensure they maintain full compliance. Ongoing staff training is critical to keep knowledge and practices current. And the hazardous waste identification and classification. Identification means identifying the hazardous waste and separating him to the proper entity or according to their category. Defining hazardous waste. Hazardous waste is any solid, liquid, or gaseous material that poses a threat to human health or the environment due to chemical, physical, or biological properties. Hazardous waste characteristics are as we know as integrity, corrosivity, reactivity, toxicity, and are defined by federal and state regulations. Waste identification process. Generators must carefully evaluate their waste streams to determine if they are hazardous through testing or knowledge of the materials and process. Hazardous waste codes. Hazardous waste are assigned unique codes that indicate their specific chemical and physical properties which help guide proper handling and disposal. Hazardous waste handling and storage. Proper containment. Hazardous waste must be stored in a steadily leaf-proof containers that are compatible with the waste. Containers should be clearly labeled with the contents of the hazardous informations. Segregation and compactability. Incompatible waste must be segregated to prevent dangerous reactions. Hazardous waste should be based on their chemical properties and property integration interaction. Controlled access. Hazardous waste storage areas should be restricted to authorized personnel only. Advocate security measures such as fencing or locks must be in place to prevent unauthorized access. Hazardous waste transportation and manifesting. First one is packaging. Proper containment and labeling of hazardous waste for transport. Manifesting. Detailed document of waste streams and disposal chain. Tracking. Monitoring transport and ensuring proper disposal at facilities. The transportation of hazardous waste requires strict protocols to ensure the safe movement of materials from generation sites to approved disposal facilities. This includes packaging in waste management study, leaf-proof containers, specifying clear hazard labels, and preparing a comprehensive manifest to document the entire waste stream. Careful tracking and chain of the custody procedures must be followed to verify the waste reaches its financial destination and is handled responsibly. Hazardous waste treatment and disposal methods. Study incineration. High temperature burning of hazardous waste to destroy organic compounds and reduce volume requires strict emission controls to prevent air pollution. Landfilling. Disposal of hazardous waste is specifically engineered and regulated landfills with liners, leachate collections, and groundwater monitoring to prevent environmental contamination. Stabilization and solidification. Process that bind hazardous constituents into a solid matrix to reduce their mobility and potential for release into the environment. Hazardous waste minimization and pollution prevent. Source reduction. Minimize the amount of hazardous materials used in your process through careful inventory management, product substitution, and produce modifications. Recycling and reuse. Implement waste recycling and reuse programs to recover valuable materials and reduce disposal costs. Waste segregation. Separate different types of hazardous waste to improve disposal efficiency and reduce treatment costs. Inventory control. Maintain strict control over hazardous material inventions to avoid unnecessary purchase of expired products. Hazardous waste emergency response and spill cleanup. Access to situation. Immediately evaluate the hazardous waste spill, including the type and the quantity of materials released, potential risk, and surrounding environment. Activate the emergency protocols. Initiate your facility emergency response plan, notify authorities, and evacuate personnel from the affiliated area if necessary. Contain the spill. Use appropriate spill containment equipment and methods to prevent the hazardous waste from spreading and contaminating the environment. Clean up and decontaminate. Safely collect, package, and dispose the spill materials according to the regulations. Decontaminated the affected area and personnel. Conclusion and the best practices. Continuous improvement. What are the hazardous waste that need to be improved continuously means hazardous waste management is an ongoing process that requires regular review and refinement to stay up to date with evolving regulations and best practices. Employee training. Investing in a comprehensive training for the staff involved in hazardous waste handling is crucial to ensure compliance and mitigate risks. Sustainability focus. Adopting a sustainability driven approach, such as implementing waste minimization and recycling initiatives, can be reduce environmental impact and long term costs. Collaborations and partnerships. Engaging with regulatory agencies, industries groups, and waste management experts can provide value insights and support effective hazardous waste management.